Imagine you're teaching your child about plants. Now imagine the learning going one of two ways. Number one, worksheet style. Paper, pencil, scissors, glue. The lesson spans about 20 minutes and then your child is done thinking about plants. They move on to the next thing, rarely thinking about plants or wondering about plants ever again. Number two, a hands-on artful approach. Soil, trowel, real flowers, real plants, a magnifying glass, seeds, watercolor paint, a brush. The investigation and projects span days, even weeks. Your child is noticing, observing, predicting, labeling, creating, investigating, and sharing their learning with others. They are delighted, motivated, engaged, and excited to learn more. In which scenario would you rather be a participant? Where would you rather teach? Hi, I'm Alana, founder of Artful Teaching, Joyful Learning, and I help educators teach with confidence, ease, and contagious creativity so that their kids fall in love with learning. Now, I'm not saying toss out the workbooks. I believe in a balanced and integrated approach that uses children's natural 100 languages of learning. Wait, did you know your child has 100 languages? The 100 languages of children is a very important principle in the Reggio-inspired approach. These languages aren't simply about verbal skills, but rather the many, many faceted ways that children discover, communicate, and learn. The 100 languages are symbolic languages and refer to how children express themselves, how they perceive, and how they share their understanding of the world. Now, the most current educational research supports the idea that children learn in a variety of ways. In order to best support our children in their journey of lifelong learning, we must provide our kids with a rich menu of learning experiences that build on their many ways of knowing. Our role as educators is to offer different avenues for thinking, revising, constructing, negotiating, developing, and symbolically expressing their thoughts and feelings. What exactly do these languages look like? Symbolic languages from drawing, sculpting, pretend play, dance, construction, writing, to painting are used to represent children's thinking processes and theories. This kind of learning is multi-sensory and incorporates all 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and even smell, the most meaningful kind of learning for young children. As children work through problems and ideas, they are encouraged to show their understanding through multiple representations, unstructured play, and following a child's interests and curiosities by creating a nurturing and enriched learning environment. Also support the Reggio-inspired approach and the child's 100 languages. When I'm planning lessons for children, I look at 2 things. The first thing I wonder is, what are the children curious about? What are they interested in? The second thing I need to consider is, what are the learning goals? What are the skills that are to be honed across the curriculum? Now, having been a teacher for so many years, I've come to know these learning goals like the back of my hand. This is where having a curriculum or program and using it as a guide comes in handy. Artful Teaching, Joyful Learning is an all-in-one program that blends the magic of wonder with more structured academics through beautifully laid out plans and a structure for teaching. When we take these 2 considerations, children's interests and our learning goals, and we combine them with our children's 100 languages of learning, we can imagine some very interesting, wildly engaging activities that bring learning to life. Now, as the father of the progressive education movement, John Dewey, explained, learning is the act of reflecting on experience. When we encourage children to consolidate their understanding and reinforce and hone their skills through worksheets, or as I like to call them, joy sheets, learning becomes further cemented and it starts to make sense for our kids. The more opportunities they have to practice, especially in real life situations, the more concrete it becomes. If you're interested in seeing how this 100 languages model plays out with children in under 1 hour a day, come join me for a free Inspired at Home art and play-based enrichment class. You'll discover how you can weave your child's interests, important academics, and wrap them up in a beautiful lesson that incorporates art, songs, poems, and playful learning. As Loris Malaguzzi, founder of the Reggio Emilia approach, once said, "The child has 100 languages, 100 hands, 100 thoughts, 100 ways of thinking, of playing, of speaking, 100, always 100 ways of listening, of marveling, of loving, 100 joys for seeing and understanding, 100 worlds to discover, 100 worlds to invent, 100 worlds to dream."